Hello everybody and welcome back. So it's been about an entire year since our last sort of unboxing video of, a mouse or a keyboard or whatever. Usually, not on purpose, but usually it ends up being that at least once a year I end up unboxing something, whether it be a mouse, a keyboard or whatever. Last year it was this mouse right here, and the year before that it was this keyboard. Did I do something the year before that? I don't know. In the last video I unboxed this mouse, and this was meant to be like my last mouse, the last mouse I would ever need to use. And in this video, hopefully I can say the same thing for my keyboard, because today we have a keyboard unboxing, and judging from the title and things like that, you already know what is in this box right here. But I thought this one's a bit different because as with the Hello Kitty keyboard, the one that I'm currently using, if you watched that video, you know that I had to build that keyboard sort of in a sense. But this keyboard has a lot more building. With the Hello Kitty keyboard, I basically just had to redo the keycaps on it and stuff like that. Let me see if I can show the camera. Sorry, I've tried to move my camera because before, how I had it in the above sort of view, it didn't really work out too well. And don't worry, I'm going to be showing all this stuff better once I get it out. All right, so as you can see here, we have a Wooting 80HE module. We also have a Wooting case, which you'll see which one I went with in a second. And we also have Lecker 45 switches, as you can see here. And then as a surprise, I'll show you with the keycaps that we went with. I guess what better way than to just start unboxing these things. So I actually was going to get this keyboard back in November-ish with the first set of sort of pre-orders. But the reason I didn't was because I saw that there were a couple issues in the first couple batches, so I wanted to wait for those to get sorted out. Okay, let me open the case to show you guys. I don't want to break the box just in case I need it or something. All right, upon opening, we have the cable, or it says accessories on it, so I'm assuming maybe there's more than just the cable in there. And then we also should have our Frost Ghost case, as you can see. Now, I would have liked a full white case, but the only full white case is the zinc alloy one that they had issues with. Not only that, I don't want a heavy case, and I don't want to spend the extra $100 something or whatever it is just to be able to get the zinc alloy. So, and I don't know why Wooting doesn't sell just a generic plastic white case like they do with their black, or their they have this is the closest one, is their Frost, transparent ghost, whatever the heck they call it, case. All right, and in here we should have the module. Okay, here it is, the 80HE module. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I just buy a Wooting or a Hall Effect keyboard before? Why did I buy this one whatever year I bought this one? Because I've known about Wooting for about as long as they've been popular, because the benefits of Hall Effect are just well known when you're gaming and things like that. People talk about that stuff. But the reason I haven't bought it till now is because you probably noticed through all the videos where I have shown my keyboard, I only like the 80%. I don't really care for the 70 or the 65 or any of those percents. I like to be able to have the F keys. That's mainly it. I can do without the arrow keys and the extra stuff on the side. So if it were just this, then I would be good, but most of them just don't have the F keys. And yes, I know on the 60% you can just press the FN key, but that's just not really my type of deal. Okay, in the accessories bag, we get a USB-C to USB-C, but with a little adapter thing right here. In this bag, we have feet. Oh yeah, okay. We have the keyboard feet, I guess. There's 2 for the 9-degree angles, and then 2 for a 10-degree angle. I don't think I'm going to be using these at all. I like my keyboards to be flat. I don't even have the things up on this keyboard, the feet. But it's cool that they give you these for those who need that. We have a keycap and switch puller. And then what do we have in this? In this little bag, we have a couple screws. I'm assuming that they're just extra screws that go with the case. Maybe if you were to strip them or break them or whatever. I'm kind of nervous about building this one compared to the other ones, because this one I actually have to put the module in the case itself, and I'm afraid I'm gonna break this ribbon cable, or I don't think I'd break this daughter board right here, but you know what I mean. Okay, in the module box, we get a little warning about installing the keycaps and things like that. And we also get a little pouch thing. What is this? They give us a Wooting postcard. It says, thank you for your support and contribution. If you need a favor, write it down and send the postcard to us. We will do our best to make it happen. But yes, don't forget to share your contact information. Okay, that's cool. I don't know what favor you would need to ask from Wooting, but knowing Wooting, they probably fulfill whatever requests people have to the best of their ability. I think Wooting probably has like the best community and also like customer service, I'd say. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say either. I think most people would agree on that. Okay, I guess now all that's left is to actually install the module into the case itself. So I'm gonna look up a tutorial from Wooting because they have all the stuff on their YouTube channel and get to work on that. Okay, I finally got the case apart. I was actually kind of worried about that because I heard reports online of people like breaking the plastic cases. I keep looking, I'm like double guessing myself because I'm so afraid of doing it that like I watched the tutorial like 4 different times trying to figure out, you know, am I doing this right? It feels like it's about to break, but I think I'm fine. Basically just be careful and you should be good. Okay, I figured out how to connect the daughter board to the main board, and it's kind of confusing. Let me record this on my phone. So as you can see, here we have it connected. The reason why I was having trouble at first is because the way that this line is, like, the way it sits default, you actually need to twist this around. So make sure that, the way I could tell is by looking into this tan thing, and you can't see it anymore because the connector's in, but you want to see where the little, it's like keyed. There's like a little key, a little notch that goes in over here. So make sure that that lines up. You might have to, like I said, spin this around and rotate it. Hey, and then once that's connected, you want to push this in with your nail. Apparently, according to the video, let me go back. Apparently there's meant to be a little bit of a gap here. So even if it looks like it's not pushed all the way in, apparently it is all the way in. That's just some stuff I noticed that I thought I would share with you if you're having trouble as well. Okay, I finally laid the board into the thing. So as you can see, once it's in, this like silicone bit is really close to the bottom part, but not close to the top part. And the main thing you can tell is if the screw in the top right and the top left are in the clear, I think you're good. Everything down here, it looks like it's really close, but I think this is how it's meant to be. One thing that was kind of annoying is the daughter board is about right here or something like that, or like right here. And the cord underneath is sort of very, I don't know if you can see it. It's very slightly lifting the board up. You might be saying that's the silicone stabilizers, but I don't think so. I think that's the cable. When I take a look underneath, you can't really see because of the way the case is, but if I turn the flash on, you can kind of see where the cable is, and it's very smushy. You can see it's in the clip that they tell you to feed it through, and then it really gets squished down here. It's really weird. Hopefully that's fine. It almost looks like it's at a 90-degree angle. I don't know if you can see that. That's the connection. So it comes out over there, goes over, for some reason they make you put it through a clip, I guess, and then it like bends. So hopefully that's okay, but for now, until I run into issues, I'm pretty sure this is how it's meant to be. Okay, another thing I just got confused about. In the video, he talks about, like, you know, after you put the PCB in and everything's all lined up and stuff, put the LED bar back. And I was like, the LED bar, where is that at? So in his video, it came off with the case, but you can see this is it. This is this little black thing. So this part, I guess, was meant to come off of the case, but it didn't. So if you're wondering, you know, where's the LED bar, it's right here. Oh, also another thing you might want to check, there was a like fuzz ball inside of it, which would have ruined stuff, so make sure you check that as well. But yeah, if you were wondering where this little bit went and you're like, you know, how do I complete this step, just double check the top part of your case and it should be in there. All right, another thing, sorry for interrupting so much, I'm just trying to help people who maybe are buying this keyboard but are running into some of the issues that I'm having. So when you put the top case back on, at least in my case, the little clip things, they didn't click in. Like, there was no way for me to know if they actually went in. So I would test it by kind of pulling a little bit. Obviously, you can see right here, this top bit is pulling. That's not because it's not clipped in, it's because there is no clip in the middle right here and it's not screwed in. So just make sure the top, like right and left, are not coming up easily. And then obviously the bottom 3 clips you can sort of test. Yeah, I just figured you might want to see like this part's coming up now. I think it's because I unclipped it, but you just want to make sure that that part is in there. All right, and the main keyboard is basically done. Now we just have to add our switches and our keycaps to it, and then obviously plug it in, update it, and blah, 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 blah. Man, that was the hard part out of the way though, which is neat. I also noticed, I didn't see this before, but by default, they have in silicone feet, and these are like flat feet, so 0-degree feet, which is nice. I thought that it was just going to be straight up just plastic on the bottom, just nothing. But it's nice that there are some grips if you maybe don't have, in my case, like a big enough mouse pad. It won't go sliding around your desk. I mean, I figured that was the case, but I also saw them, you know, they gave the other mouse feet, so I figured, oh, maybe those were the only ones and you just had to trade them out or whatever. I don't know. Man, I absolutely love the little container thing that the switches come in. This little, I don't even know what, it's just like a little jar, but it's like a plastic jar. I don't know why, but I love this so much. Okay, now we get into me needing to explain some different stuff. So why did I go with the, first of all, the Lecker V240? I think this is what these are. Wooting themselves sell technically 3 keys, but they mainly sell 2. They have the V240 and the V260. So that being, I think it's because of the activation force. So this one's 40 grams and the other one is 60 grams or something like that. Yeah, so it says on the box 30 to 45 key activation force. And then the other one I'm guessing is something like 50 to 60 or something like that. I don't know. They also sell jade switches, which I won't be talking about. And the reason you have to get special switches with these is because these are Hall effect switches. So they use, if you don't know, they use magnets on the bottom instead of like mechanical keyboards, how they use little pins. And then, okay, so why did I go with the 45s instead of the either jades or the 60? And the reason for that was because I was kind of on the fence at first on whether I should do the 60 or the 45s. I never really thought about getting the jades. The jades are technically like their sort of high-end sort of switch. All switches are essentially the same when it comes to Hall effect. The only difference you get is in like the lube process as well as the sound. Other than that, they all perform basically the same. There's no like, you can't buy a tactile switch. The only difference it would have made is if I bought like some sort of silent switch, which maybe I want to do in the future. I saw, you know, a couple days after ordering this that they actually did make silent switches, which I've always kind of preferred ever since getting a mechanical keyboard with blue switches and hearing how loud it is. You know, after you sort of deal with that once, you sort of realize, oh wow, these are annoying and I now want my keyboard to be quiet. But anyways, I went with the 45s because I figure the less activation force will be better for me. I can order the other ones and, you know, try those out or switch them out if it gets to be that these are a little bit too light for me. Another thing I just remembered is the reason I got the Lecker switches over the jade was because of the housing. As you may be able to notice on the Lecker switches, both of them, they have a clear casing, which means that the LEDs for them should be super bright. I think the perfect switch for me would be a like 45 activation with a clear case. That's a silent switch. So basically like this switch, but silent, I guess, would be like the perfect switch for me, but I don't really know if they make that. I've also been hearing a lot of good things. A lot of people said that the version 1 of the Lecker switches were, you know, not really the best when it came to the lubing process and things like that. But a lot of people have said that they have fixed those issues and that now these switches are really cool to use and things like that. Oh, also with the jade switches, apparently you have to order, or I think if you order them through Wooting, they give you these, but you have to order custom like space bar stabilizers or something, and that's kind of what I'm afraid of when it comes to ordering any other switch as well. Like if I were to get a silent switch in the future, I really would hope that I wouldn't have to get custom stabilizers because I just am too lazy to mess with all that. I just want to plug and play, man. I know it's ironic coming from someone who just now put together an entire keyboard, but you know. Okay, and we're done with about these mini switches left. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 extra switches that we can save for if some of these start sort of running low on like lube feel, or if I just accidentally break one somehow. Okay, and now finally we can work on the keycaps. So as I said before, I was going to be kind of leaving it as a surprise for which keycaps I went with. Let me go ahead and get this other keyboard out of the way. All right, so we have this set of keycaps right here. I actually originally found these on Etsy, and then I saw how high the price was, and I was like, I have a feeling this guy is just like stealing these from AliExpress or something. So I went on AliExpress, searched the same thing. Wouldn't you know, I found the exact same set on AliExpress, and that was the first time I've ever ordered something on AliExpress. But as you can see, we have these Sylveon themed. I already looked for a Glaceon themed and I couldn't find one. If you don't know, Glaceon is my favorite Pokemon, but Sylveon is a close second. Sylveon's also, I think, the most powerful evolution because of her ability to do pixelate. But yeah, I have this keycap set and I have a feeling this is gonna look really sick, especially since it's my favorite key, like my color combination. I love blue, I love pink, and I love white as well. So unknowingly, a side effect of this is that I'm now going to have a trans keyboard, which I didn't think of until after. All right, let's do a time lapse of me setting up all of these keycaps things. One thing I wanted to show, I don't know who the like artist is for this, but I'm pretty sure whoever like manufactures these, I wish this camera would focus, but whoever manufactures these just like stole someone's art and then put it on like some of these, like the inner key at the very least, because this one just looks so much different from all the other like sets. It just looks like someone took this from someone's like deviant art and then was like, okay, I'm gonna sell this now. Okay, one thing I have to consider is in the second sort of pack for this, they give another spacebar. So one of them is normal Sylveon and then the other one is shiny. So I have to consider which one I want. I really want the shiny one because it's a pink spacebar, but at the same time, I feel like it would look weird having these like very slight, like this is blue, and that would be like almost the only two blue things without a blue spacebar. So it's like, I feel like I have to use the default spacebar. Although, okay, now that I look at it, I don't know. I kind of like I like both of them. I wish I could have both. I wish I could just have two space bars. I'm going to do blue for now. If I really need to, obviously I can change it at any time. They're just keycaps. But man, I really like both of those. Okay, one thing I might run into, ignoring, don't worry about the escape key. We'll get to it. I know you noticed that I've skipped that one. As for these keys, if you're wondering, by the way, how I know which key to do besides just going off of how the keys are laid out in the thing, I've also just been looking on the Wooting YouTube channel. They show you which keys go where, and as you can see up here, we have print screen, pause, insert, delete, page up, page down, which I have over here. But what I'm wondering is if I can set these in the Wooting software to be something different, because how I have it on my old keyboard, as you may be able to see, these keys over here are meant to be like page up, page down, back key, or like home key, or end and insert or something like that. I don't know, but I've set them to these custom keys, and then I have them set to different things. So like this one makes a clip, this one is an auto clicker, this one mutes me on Discord, this one deafens me on Discord. I don't know if I can do that sort of thing, like if I can set one of these to be an auto clicker or change. I'm assuming I can, but if I can, I kind of want to set them to not be, you know, what they say, and I want to set them to be one of these special keys they have on here. They have like different Pokeballs and stuff. I don't know if you can see that very well, but yeah, they have Pokeballs and Ultra Balls and things like that. So I kind of want to set it to that, but I'm kind of worried, man. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go with my gut instinct and make some of these some Pokeballs. Okay, I think I figured it out. I set for the mode key, I did a blue Pokeball, and then I have the print screen is a great ball, and then the pause key is an ultra ball. And then I have these keys. These are like page up, down, insert, delete. I have them set as these little bow ties, and then 2 of the just generic Pokeballs. Like I mentioned before, if I need to change anything, I can. But I think this is good for now. I think I like this. And yes, I know you saw that I missed the escape key. And the reason for that is because I actually had bought a special key for the escape key way long ago. You might have seen it briefly on this keyboard. All right, so another key I bought is this custom, and hopefully this fits. I really hope this fits. And of course the camera's not going to focus, but we have this custom Glaceon escape key. Let me record this with my phone. Okay, so as mentioned before, Glaceon is my favorite Pokemon of all time. And so I got this custom resin escape keycap. The only issue I've had with it, because obviously I was testing it on this old keyboard over there. The only issue I have is that the bottom bit is a little bit too tight. I don't know why this is, but it barely fits on that other keyboard. So hopefully it fits on this one. But as you can see, it's got a cute little Glaceon in there on top of some like icy terrain area. By the way, I forgot to mention this before, but all the links to everything, including the keyboard, will be in the description, including, oh, it fits, including the keycaps and things like that. Our keyboard is completely finished. Let's get a top-down view of that keyboard. I think it looks nice. I really like it. All right, and with that, the only thing left to do is to plug this in. I'm gonna clean up first before I do that, because I literally have boxes all over, and then we'll plug this in and we'll set up the keys. All right, and now we should be ready to plug this thing in. So I think you have to use this cord instead of like another generic USB-C, because this keyboard I'm pretty sure has 8K polling rate or something like that. So I don't know if just any old USB-C can handle it. Either way, I'm not going to go through the trouble of, you know, trying to cable manage and fit this around my desk and stuff, just because I'm setting it up and making sure it works. So, okay, right now it's a little bit scuffed. The wires are going everywhere, but like I said, just making sure this works. Let's go ahead and plug it in for the first time. Oh my god, that's blue. All right, so the keyboard does work, and I will say this is already, and I like this. This is a lot quieter than my other keyboard. My other keyboard, at times, whenever I was typing, so you can hear it while I'm talking right now. But with this one, you can't hear anything. Or, I mean, you can probably still hear it, but it's not as loud as something like this, where if I'm typing at like the same level, you can hear how loud it is. All right, so one thing is the way you get the software is by going on Wooting's website and going up to Wootility. Usually how you would want to do this is by going to this right here, the Wootility, at least at the time of recording this, it's version 5, it's in beta, but you'd want to go to the web app. However, I use Firefox and I'm not willing to download Chrome. So let me see, will this just forcibly work on this? Okay, no, this is just for you to like test stuff. One thing I think I can do is I think I can put this in Edge, which is the only Chromium based browser I have on my computer. So let's see, will this work? Initialize device. Allow the browser to connect to your device. This opens the device list next to your URL bar. Select a device on the list and hit connect. Allow browser. Oh, okay, it detects this. Your Wooting 80HE is connected. Go to the next step to check if firmware update is required. Okay, next. Firmware update is required to provide you with the best experience. We first need to update your device firmware. Simply click the button to get started. Update. Oh, okay. It's only the spacebar is lit up in yellow for some reason. Allow the browser to download firmware update. This again opens a list next to your URL bar. Select Wooting Restore on the list, then click connect. Updating will start automatically. Okay, allow the browser. An error occurred while updating. Please replug your Wooting device into your computer. And when the device is connected, press restart update button. Okay, replugged it in. Restart update. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think it had an error because this thing that didn't pop up before for some reason. Oh, look, this bar right here, you can't really see because the camera's so small, but this bar is showing the device update. Your Wooting 80HE is ready. Begin your customization or set up another device. For some reason, it detects it as disconnected. Device connection failed. Wooting 80HE failed to connect. Error. Timed out waiting for a response from device. Also, I think my Microsoft Edge is about to crash. It's at like 2 frames. I don't think any of those issues were to do with Wootility. Usually people using this are probably using Chrome. Sadly, you shouldn't be using Chrome, but you can see here, obviously you probably know most of this because if you're watching this video and you know what a wooting is, you probably already have all this information because you've watched a million videos. But as you can see here, whenever I press on a key, I'm pressing on the W key, you can see the pressure of me pushing in the different keys, which I think is really cool. I personally believe this will be the future for things like racing games on computers, because currently if you want like a decent experience in racing games, you have to plug in a controller. But with this way, you can sort of just set your own, you can slowly press W to inch forward or whatever until you bottom out. All right, I'm gonna go through and just sort of customize all of this, go through all the different settings and just sort of figure out what I'm doing. It might take me a bit, so I'm not gonna record any of this, but I will record if I find anything, sort of interesting or whatever. Most of you probably know this information already, so I'm not too worried about skipping it. All right, just a couple of updates while I'm kind of going through all this. I don't know if someone caught this, but on my keyboard, I have next to the spacebar, I have Alt FN and then Control, which is what they had on this. They had Alt FN and Control, but on the actual utility thing, whenever I go to remap, you can see it's actually Alt Control and then FN. So I have my FN and Control keys swapped, so I need to swap those out. I thought I would mention that for anyone who cared. And then another thing I thought was cool is if you go to extended keys, they have F13 to F24. So I think that's what I'm going to do for these keys over here. So I'm going to set them to FN keys and then just in-game set them to whatever I really need to set them to. Another thing I thought was cool, but I couldn't figure it out, they have these different language buttons. They have katakana, hiragana, I don't know what this is, ... and then they have just row with a row hiragana character, and then they have katakana, hiragana again, and then they have yen. I've been trying to figure these out. Even when I do yen, I thought, oh, maybe yen will put the yen key. So if I put yen on this key and then I go here and I press it, nothing happens. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I tried doing these language ones. I thought it would maybe switch my language, which I already have the Japanese language set because I use it sometimes. So I thought it would switch, but it doesn't do that. So I think I'm using this wrong. I need to kind of figure out more how to do that. Another thing, I think I'm mostly done with all of my settings, and don't worry, I'll show them all at the end. The one thing I am kind of disappointed about is the settings for the lighting and things like that. I wish I could select, or maybe I can and I don't know how to do this, but I wish I could select like a ring around the keys and then set them to be a different main base layer lighting effect, because you could add effect layers, but I don't care for any of these. I wish I could add a rainbow effect around like all the F keys down over here, and up through here, because that's kind of what I have set on my other one. So it'd be cool if I could have another base layer and then select something like the rainbow and then just sort of have this effect, but only on the outer ring. I don't know. That's just something I feel like would be cool. Another thing I noticed is with this Tycon mode, if you turn it on, it says it disables some of the RGB settings. One thing that sucks is this disables the progress bar. So the whenever you're pressing a key and the bar like shows you how much pressure you're putting on it, it kind of sucks that this disables that. See, look, I'll show you what I mean. So whenever I'm pressing this key, you can see the pressure that it has. It really sucks that this is disabled because I really want true 8K polling rate instead of 1600. So I think I'm gonna turn this on and try it, and then I'll just leave this here. But man, I wish I could use this because this is such a cool thing to me. Although maybe it's better not having that on because it might be distracting seeing in the peripheral this, bar flashing over and over again. All right, it's a new day. You're probably wondering, why is it a new day? Why didn't I finish recording yesterday? So after the last clip you saw, I basically spent most of my time trying to figure out the Wootimation software thing. So this is like their macro system thing, and we'll get to this in a second. I had a lot of issues with this and it's really annoying. So but first things first, I wanted to show the utility thing. I think I'm mostly done with it. There's still some things like I want to make a profile for the gamepad mode, which I haven't done, but I thought I would show my settings really quick in case you're wondering. I have Tycon mode on. For the actuation point, I have all keys set to 0.4. I tried setting them all to 0.1, and at least the WASD, that was just too much. Like I would be mispressing keys all the time. So I think I'm just going to try to like lower them as I get used to them. I had it on 0.5. I switched it to 0.4. I think 0.4 might be okay. As for rapid trigger, I turned it off of W and shift because I noticed whenever I would like just slightly lift up on the W key or the shift key, it would stop me from moving. So I unbound it from shift because it would stop me from running, and then I unbound it from W because it would stop me from moving forward, that is, which is like the most important movement you can have. Anyways, here's the settings for all of the other keys that aren't W and shift. Rapid triggers on, the sensitivity is as low as it goes, and continuous rapid triggers on. Then for RGB effects, I have a couple of the lights turned off on the spacebar because the spacebar is like really bright, surprisingly. But you can see I just have a static pink color, and then the global brightness is locked because of the Tycon mode. And then for the FN layer, this is the color I went with, just the blue. That way, whenever I press the FN key, I'm actually able to definitely tell that I am in the FN mode. I still don't know what these little dots do. You can color these, by the way, I saw, but I don't know what they do. They're only on like scroll lock, caps lock. It's on the FN key. I'm guessing maybe they show a light over here if you want it to, but I don't have that on for the light indicator. I have this key depth, which can't be turned on because of Tycon mode. And then I have brightness change, which shows me whenever I'm changing the brightness. You can't see it in the webcam, but the little bar shows me the different brightness levels. You can see it on screen. And then as for global effects, I just set this to solid and then alternated between white and pink. And I think this looks good. Okay, as for a remap, you can see I rebound my caps lock key to F13, and then we have F14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then we have the delete key where the mode key was, because on my old keyboard, I know you can't see it well, but over here, this is the delete key where the mode key is on the Wooting, and I'm just more used to having a delete key over there, so that's where I set it. Then we have the FN layer, so whenever I hold the FN key, I can get page up, page down, home, end. I then have 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 FN keys. I moved the brightness. The mode is now on the FN key mode thing. I still have print screen, scroll lock, pause. I moved some other stuff around. I can still activate caps lock if I press FN and then I hit the caps lock key. And then for advanced keys, I don't have any on the FN layer, but for the main layer, I have Snappy Tappy SOCD on A and D, and you can see the settings right here. Rapid trigger, last priority. I don't really like the alternate fully pressed behavior because it kind of behaves how my old keyboard is, I feel. And then I have the same settings for Q and E. Might turn Q and E off because this would be if I leaned with Q and E in Rainbow Six, which I kind of want to try out. I don't know, it's maybe a work in progress type thing. Okay, and that's all my profile settings. I will be leaving the codes in the description if you want to use them, which, by the way, how you use those, you go to my profiles, you go to import profile, and then you can put the code in here. Okay, so now back to the Wootimation. So I figured I wanted to have these keys be my auto clicker. Maybe I want to have a left auto clicker at 1 millisecond, and then the same thing for the right mouse button auto clicker. And I set them on the FN keys. That way, if I press FN and then I press one of the keys, you know, I'm not accidentally pressing these keys over here and activating the auto clicker or anything like that. So sadly, Wootimation like just does not work. I don't know what it is. It must be because this is a new keyboard and maybe it doesn't detect it. I even went on the Discord, looked at some issues. People were like, oh, you gotta install like Microsoft Edge Web View 2 or something like that, which I tried to install that. It said I already had it installed. So I was like, okay. I'll just show you this macro right here, this test macro. You can see what it's meant to do is whenever I hit this key, the F17 key, which is this one right here, whenever I press this key, it's meant to paste the text hi. And then I have another one where whenever I hit this key right next to it, it pastes the text test2. And then when I hit save, and I'll show you my settings, minimize on close. So whenever I hit close on this, it goes into my system tray, you can see right here. And then whenever I press those, it's meant to paste the text, but it doesn't. So anyways, you can see that these don't work. One thing I did figure out and why I think that this is an issue with maybe just this keyboard or something, because I've seen other people talking about it working. If you go in and you set the trigger key as your middle mouse button, and then we hit save, you can see if I now press middle mouse, it'll work. So I don't really understand. It works with the mouse, does not work with the keyboard. See, I'll even change it back. Now if I go back and I start pressing it, it's deleting. Why is it deleting? Anyways, you can see it doesn't work at all. And if you're thinking the F keys aren't working, you can see this is my OBS like keybind settings. So you can see if I wanted to say, for example, do start replay buffer and stop replay buffer, I can set these as the F keys. I can set all of these as the F keys. So the F keys work. I've already done it for this one and this one right here. It just for some reason will not work on this, and I don't understand why. It's kind of disappointing. Also, the staff and the Discord, whenever you go into the like Wootomation area thing of the Discord, everyone just like ignores everyone, and the staff are kind of rude, or like I don't even think they're staff. I think they're like helpers or something. But you go in the Discord and people will ask a question and then no one will answer them at all. Like someone will be like, hey, how do I do this? And then like no one replies. So I don't know. It's really weird. No one is helpful on this server. Also, apparently the Wooting developers have kind of, I guess, taken a break on developing the Wootomation software because they were working on the Wootility software redo, which is, it's just so weird and disappointing because I remember when Razer added SOCD, and then within like the same week of Razer doing that, the Wooting team already had it added on their software. So it's like they can add that, but they can't do like a update to this just to make it work. They don't even, I forgot to mention, they don't even have the ability to like repeat certain actions. So if I did want to set up an auto clicker for like left click, I'd have to spam this over and over just to do like an auto clicker. You can't just have it be like, oh, left click, and then repeat left click over and over again. So when you look at it this way, technically this keyboard has a missing feature that my old keyboard had, but hopefully in the future this software can be updated. It also sucks that I have to have this like installed and running on my computer, whereas my last one would save my macros to the keyboard itself. I wonder if that's something maybe they can work on for the Wootility thing. Maybe they can add a macro setting and just have macro function built in. If you don't know, by the way, the Wootomation software, this software can run on any keyboard. Like you can set it up and it'll probably work on your keyboard because you don't have a new keyboard, presumably. Anyways, it's sad, but what can you do about it? On a different note, I did notice while playing last night that and this is something I had an issue with on my last keyboard, the keys are so hard to see at night, even with the brightness like as high as they go on the like Tycon mode or whatever it's called. Because the keys aren't like light through, I can't read them. And yes, I look at my keyboard when I type sometimes, especially with a new keyboard where I can't, I don't know where the keys are. I was like accidentally mispressing keys all the time. This is the setup I'm forced to have because I literally cannot see to type in the dark. Mainly, I was thinking about it. It's not even that I can't see like the keys, because obviously you know where some of the keys are. It's like the keys right here. Do you know where the asterisk is? Right on the 8. If I take away the light and just show you the thing, which one is it? That's right. It's not that one. That one. See? It's so hard to see. But like I said, this is an issue I had on my last keyboard, and I'm thinking, honestly, a lot of these keys that I can't see, they're all just white. So I was thinking, what if I bought see-through white keycaps or just the middle bit? So for example, if I bought these and then just only replaced the middle like text keys with these. So I tried looking for XDA profile switches that were see-through, and the problem is all of them are like pudding keycaps, which I don't like the way pudding looks, but I honestly might try it out just to kind of, fix this one weird issue that I had. Alright, one final update. I'm too lazy to plug in my camera, so I'm just doing this on my phone. This is the keyboard. I've been using it for like I don't even know how long, like 2 weeks maybe. You can see I bought the keycaps and I switched them out. These are pretty nice. The only thing I don't like about them is that they change the sound of the keys. So I don't know if you can hear. They're very clacky compared to something like these keys over here. Anyways, I don't really like the clackiness of them, but you know what? I'd rather have my keyboard look good and be able to actually see the keys than, you know, have it sound good. Most of the time I'm playing a game or doing something with my headphones on anyways, like listening to music, so I don't even hear the keyboard, so sound isn't that big of a thing to me. Some changes I did make: I changed out the backspace for the other enter key. I was surprised that this actually fit exactly, you know, how it would. This is meant to be the enter key for like a numpad or something, but I put it here because I just like the design better. It's a little bit weird being, you know, sideways like this, but I like it. And then I think I traded out these two. And so far this keyboard has been perfect. It's worked with everything. The only thing I don't like is one, the Wootimation stuff. I don't have a auto clicker anymore, but also I noticed for some reason some of the F keys don't work in certain games. Like let's say in Rainbow Six, I don't know if it does work in Rainbow Six, I haven't tried, but if you try to set a certain keybind to a F key, like F13 or F14 or something like that, some games will just straight up tell you like, oh, we can't detect this key's undetected or whatever. One thing I did notice though is that for Minecraft, the F keys work really well. So if you have a, you know, mod pack with a bunch of weird niche settings or keybinds that you need to do, you know, setting these to F keys is really helpful for that. Anyways, here's one final look. Now let's go back to past me talking about testing it and things like that. Okay, and I think for now that's basically all I really have. I guess we should finally get into some gameplay footage of me playing with this keyboard. Not that I'm the best at gaming or anything. Anyways, roll the clips.
Nope.
Started to shoot me when I'm behind his bomb.
See, pick a side.
I'm swinging. There's a Flores out here. Dead.
Nice.
See, look at that, Thomas. That's how you do it. Your turn. There's another one. To the right. Dead. See, Thomas? Like, come on. That's how you do it.
Let's see. If you get this, I'm gonna stop targeting it.
She's lit. It's Ash.
Please get it. Please
Get
get
to the right.
Please get
Got it. Yo, Thomas, you're trash.
That one in the street. He's wide open.
I'm going to get the loot up there.
Knocked her.
I hit that guy pushing up for 105.
Knocked Piccolo.
Oh, that was the last guy apparently. Okay. All right, bro. Ow. Excuse me? Ah! Never mind.
Yep.
Well, that's not good now, is it? Oh, okay. Maybe it is good.
Op 4 is defusing a bomb. You need to disable their diffuser.
Nope. Oh, it's stuck on.
Diffuser located. Protect the bomb.
Yes! 5 DPS.
Oh, it just up. I don't have a bounce pad. Do you?
Nope.
There's
We
one
can
over
just use
there.
that one, yeah. Okay, let's just
'Cause
use
I
that. 'Cause
had-
I don't have heals. I'm like I
Just
need
ball.
heals badly. Okay, I just didn't make it up
They're
there.
going up the
Awesome.
zip.
Yeah, he's trying to get that the.
Zip angle. He's getting it. He's getting him. He's on the left side.
Oh, what a
shit!
throw! What a throw, bro!
Holy shit.
All right, I'm gonna do what King does best. Muntin Goon. Oh shoot! All the day's work. All right, that's the end of this video. Sorry for it being so long. I just wanted to get as many of my ideas out there and try to help people who had some of the same issues as me, in case, you know, they were looking and they wanted to see if there was a solution to whatever issue they had. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Once again, check the comments for all the details on the keyboard that I got, the keycaps that I got, the Wooting profile, everything. All the information is down below. And yeah, with that out of the way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.